Hey guys, what is happening? Welcome to the Hollywood Steve Wrestling Podcast, guys. Alright, so before you guys do anything, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, make sure you guys share, comment, all that good stuff. So today we're gonna talk about Smackdown last night, what went down, what happened, and let me just start off by saying Smackdown last night was killer. It was absolutely incredible. I loved this episode of Smackdown mainly because we got the return of the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, last night. And man, did he deliver. Oh my gosh, did he deliver. So I'm just gonna get right into the to the review here, guys. We're just gonna dive right into this thing. Yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna dive right in. So SmackDown, so SmackDown kicked off with the just a recap of SummerSlam, what went down, and Cody Rhodes kicked off the night with an in-ring promo. And Cody is just, I love, the thing I love about Cody is, I'll say this, I love Cody's passion for the sport. I love his passion for what he does. Cody is just amazing. Amazing. And I thought this is really great here. As Cody's talking, Cody's getting ready to announce his opponent for Bash at Berlin coming up at the end of the month on August 31st. And of course he's interrupted by none other than Solo Sikoa and the rest of the bloodline. And Cody's talking, he's telling Solo that he beat him already. He doesn't deserve a rematch. He already got beat, everything, and he's moving on past Solo and past the bloodline, and he tells Solo he's nothing but a cosplay tribal chief, and that sets Solo off. That made the bloodline just jump into the ring and attack Cody. Cody was getting just absolutely beat down, and of course out comes KO to lend a helping hand to help Cody. And after the bloodline gets cleared from the ring, Cody and KO were standing face to face, and Cody says to KO, he tells KO he's appreciative of him having his back and being there for him, and having his back and against the bloodline, and how he wants to face Kevin Owens at Bash in Berlin for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, because in Cody's mind, Kevin Owens is extremely super deserving of a title shot, because Kevin Owens has not had a title match his feud with Roman, and it's been a while since Kevin Owens has had a title shot. So Cody tells Kevin Owens that he is worthy of a title shot. He is so ready for a title shot. He is so deserving of one. And, Kevin Owens is super reluctant and says, I haven't done anything to deserve this title shot. What have I done to deserve it? Cody said, you've done everything to deserve this title shot. You've had my back against the bloodline. You've been there for me. You're one of my closest friends. And I would be honored to share the ring with you at Bash in Berlin and wrestle you and put the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship on the line at Bash in Berlin. Well, Kevin Owens, reluctantly, is, like I said, he's super reluctant to face him, and Cody ends the conversation with, I'm going to go, these people want it, I want it, I'm going to go back, everybody in the back wants it, I'm going to go in the back, I'm going to talk to Nick Aldis, I'm going to make this thing official, and the last words that the last thing you're going to hear me say is, I'll see you in Berlin. And Cody walks away, and Kevin's just kind of standing there, just super, reluctant, he doesn't know what to think, because he doesn't feel that he is deserving of this, but I truly feel that he is. I really feel that Cody and KO would put on an absolute incredible match at Bash in Berlin. And even if KO doesn't even have to win, it's just the fact that Cody is putting the belt on the line against Kevin Owens and giving Kevin Owens a shot, giving Kevin Owens a chance, giving Kevin Owens a shot at the title, which he totally, absolutely deserves. He totally, absolutely deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. And then we got our next match of the night was we finally got to our match. It was Street Profits and A-Town Down Under, and I gotta say I really like what the Street Profits and so the Street Profits were backstage, back in the gorilla position, talking to Byron, and this was the first match to see who would be the number one, who would face off to be the number one contenders for the tag titles at Bash in Berlin, and I liked what B-Fab and the Street Profits had to say here. I mean, I did not know this. This shocked me. I was legitimately shocked about this. I did not realize this. I had totally forgotten that it's been 3 years. 3 years, guys, since the Street Profits have held tag team gold in the WWE. 3 years. I did not realize I did not know it had been that long since they've held tag team gold. And, I love this new look of the Street Profits. I love, I love this new version of the Street Profits. I love this look, I love it. And the tag team action in this match was absolutely insane. Of course Montez Ford is going to go absolutely, just insane in the ring. He's just going to hit big move after big move, big move after big move. He's just going to be like the dude is so talented. I love Tez and Dawkins. I love Tez and Dawkins. And I put in my notes here, so Montez hits an awesome dive over the top ropes. It's so. He hits this dive over the top rope, the dive over the top rope so perfectly. It's just so effortless and just so seamless. It's like, it's perfect. I just, and of course he lands on his feet. I mean, come on. Excuse me. He lands on his feet. I mean, come on. Who else could land a dive like that? I mean, there's many guys, but Montez Ford just does it so perfectly. I love that. And he's so talented. I mean, I put down here in my notes that Montez Ford is just so talented at his craft. He is so gifted at what he does. And so then coming out of the break, we get A-Town Down Under. They regain some of the control of the match. And Dawkins gets the hot tag from Tez, and I'm gonna say again, the camera angles in this new version of WWE, in Triple H's era of WWE, these new camera angles, these wide side shots are incredible. I love these shots. I love these wide lens, wide angle shots, that you can see like what the front row is seeing, or just these side shots are just absolutely amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love these new camera angles. They are incredible. And the overhead view, I mean, awesome. I love that. And it's just I like how they're going to how it's more sport based, with just the angles and just the camera angles, and just, it's like you're at a sporting event and not a wrestling show. And I think that's really huge, because you go to a football game and you have all those, you have those wide camera shots, you have the up close camera shots, you have the drone shot, and it's really, really cool. Really cool. I love that. But yeah, like I said, Dawkins gets the hot tag. And okay, Dawkins is insane. He is insane. He hits this. He pounces. He pounces Waller. Okay, him and Waller going outside. Tez and Theory are the two legal men in the ring, and Montez Ford hits this pounce that just, that sends Grayson Waller through the timekeeper's area. I mean, just knocks the barrier completely down. I thought this was awesome. I loved this. I love the Street Profits. They are one of my favorite tag teams, aside from DIY. I love the Street Profits. And then the Profits hit their super blockbuster. I love this move. I love this move for the win. And then after the victory, we get Cody backstage. He's talking to Nick Aldis, telling Aldis, all the great things about Kevin Owens, how Kevin is so deserving of this title shot. And Kevin Owens walks into frame, and I thought, and Kevin Owens, is just like, I don't deserve this. I've done nothing to deserve it. And so they're talking, and Nick Aldis goes, yeah, I guess so. Right? And we're gonna give the title shot to Roman Reigns, and I loved Kevin Owens' reaction here. Kevin Owens is like, why is he gonna get a title shot? When I lost the Universal Championship, I didn't get my rematch clause. I didn't get my automatic rematch, and we haven't done an automatic rematch in 3 years. So why is Roman getting his automatic rematch? And Nick Aldis goes, well, he held the title for over for 3 years, and Kevin Owens is like, well, yeah, I know he held the title for 3 years, but he had all this help from from the rest of the bloodline. He had all this help to keep the title on him. If it wasn't for the help that he had, he wouldn't have been champion for so long. And just I love how Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis are just listening to this. They're just listening on. Okay. And then Nick Aldis goes, all right, Kevin, you just proved to me that you're worthy of a title shot. So it is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the Undisputed Championship at Bash in Berlin. And Aldis made it official, and Kevin walks away and says, I'll see you in Berlin. And that was that. I mean, it was awesome. And then we got then we had another little, again, these backstage segments. It's just they're multiplying. I love them, but they're doing so many of them back to back. I'm just like, let's get to more matches, guys. Okay, let's get to more matches, please. I love I like the backstage segments, but when there's so many of them and not enough action in the ring, that's when it just gets to be excessive. When the backstage segments get to be excessive and just too much. But anyway, so we got Tiffany Stratton backstage, and she's backstage with her little clipboard, and she's putting this championship celebration together for Nia, her being Nia being queen of the ring, and then now her WWE Women's Championship celebration. Tiffany's planning it for next week and all this stuff, and then of course Pretty Deadly walk into the picture, and are like, we need not go with pink, you need to go with fuchsia. And they're talking to Tiffany, and Tiffany's just kind of, yeah, okay, whatever. She blows them off, and they Pretty Deadly is well, you need to have Pretty Deadly in there. What about Pretty Deadly the musical? They're promoting that, that whole story, and then Tiffany Stratton just walks away. Of course, she just totally blows them off and just walks away. And then I loved this interaction. Tiffany Stratton is she's continuing to walk backstage, and then she gets confronted by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Chelsea says to Tiffany, she's clearly planning on cashing in on Nia. I mean, it's a given. I mean, Tiffany is going to cash in on Nia. She's going to turn on Nia, and she's going to cash in. And Tiffany called her out on this. Tiffany. Chelsea called her out on this. Chelsea called her out and said, we all know that you're going to cash in on Nia when you get the opportunity. We all know you're going to do it. And, Tiffany, of course, Stratton, she denies it, says, well, Nia's my friend. I would never cash in on her. And then she just, Tiffany walks away, and then we get an ad break, and then coming out of the ad break, we got the official graphic for Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Bash in Berlin, and now it is official. So Cody Rhodes will be defending the title at Bash in Berlin against Kevin Owens. So I am so looking forward to that match. I am absolutely looking forward to that match. And then we got the unholy union of part of the one half of the women's tag team champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Alba Fire was taking on Jade Cargill, and this match was okay. It wasn't a long match. It's just a lot of back and forth. Of course, Jade Cargill is gonna be absolutely super dominant. They're gonna display her strength and Cargill hit Jaded, got the win. But then post match, Blair Davenport shows up and she hits the ring and just starts beating down Cargill, and then we get Naomi. Naomi came back. Surprisingly, I was not expecting this. I was like, oh, ask Naomi. Okay, so what's going on here? So Naomi came back. She came back to help. Came running down to help out Bianca Belair, and they took out Davenport and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, and so they stood tall in the ring, and then again another ad break, and so coming out of that ad break we get LA Knight, and LA Knight came out to some new music. It doesn't have the little beginning guitar in the beginning. It's got the drums, which is kind of cool. Which I think is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So LA Knight gets on the mic, and he's talking, and of course, the WWE universe, they're, you deserve it, which he absolutely does. He truly does deserve it. I mean, he truly deserves a title. I mean, he should have had it a year ago. The title should have been taken off Logan Paul a year ago. But anyway, I digress. So LA Knight's in the ring. He gets interrupted by Santos Escobar, and after a few words, a few exchanges, Santos says, how everybody says, it's, whose game is it? L.A. Knight, yeah, and Santos says everybody's gonna be going to sing Santos Escobar, see, and I thought that was kind of a cool line. I really thought that was kind of a cool line. But this was a number one contenders match for LA Knight's United States Championship. It was Andrade. So Escobar's in the ring. Andrade comes out. And I love that Andrade is getting at least in the title picture. And so they start kicking off. The match kicks off, and coming out of another break, before we well, the match doesn't kick off yet. We get an ad break, and then we get a vignette for Giovanni Vinci. He's going back to his NXT gimmick where he's this rich guy, billionaire type character, and I thought that was kind of cool. I liked that Giovanni Vinci. And then, of course, Baron, not Baron Corbin yet, but Santos, he's accompanied by Elektra Lopez and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo and Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. They come out and they they run off Garza and Carrillo. Um, you know, um, and Escobar just continues to dominate. And I thought this was really cool. I never knew this. So there apparently that so Corey Graves made the mention that there's some history between Santos Escobar and Andrade. They actually wrestled. They never wrestled each other in Mexico, but they both wrestled in Mexico, so they have a little bit of history there. But they never faced each other while they were in Mexico, and I was pretty surprised with those facts. With that fact, I was like, wow. And I loved this homage to Eddie Guerrero. Andrade hit the Three Amigos. I loved this, and probably one of my favorite moves in the WWE. Is the Poison Rana. I mean, especially when they do it off the top rope. I mean, that is a awesome move when they do it off the top rope. It's amazing. It is amazing. I love it. And so Santos Escobar hits this Poison Rana off the top rope, and I love that. I love it. And of course, Carmelo Hayes comes running out, distracts Andrade, and Andrade gets caught in a roll-up. Santos grabs the tights. Santos gets the 1, 2, 3, and Santos Escobar is moving on. And then I love one of my favorite things that I absolutely love now about the WWE is this backstage stuff, like how they have the camera following the wrestlers out from the back through Gorilla and out to the ring. I love that. So we got this with DIY. As they were walking there, cutting a promo, saying they're going to get their titles back, and then, so they're talking, they're going to get the titles back, how it was, it was embarrassing how they lost the titles in Cleveland, and how Johnny Gargano lost the titles in front of his two-year-old son, and it was just like, we're coming for those titles. And I thought this was really great. And then to just completely flip the script, Corey Graves made the announcement that yesterday we lost one of probably the greatest producers of our time, of the wrestling business. Kevin Sullivan passed away yesterday, and Corey Graves broke the news that Kevin Sullivan had passed away yesterday. And as we know, he was the Taskmaster in WCW. He was also a backstage producer for WCW. He produced the whole Goldberg thing, and he'd been wrestling since 1970. Kevin Owens had a lengthy career, and so unfortunately, sadly, we lost Kevin Sullivan yesterday, and like I said, he was probably one of the greatest producers in the wrestling world, in the wrestling industry, for WCW. As far as I know, he was never in WWE producing backstage segments or producing any matches or anything like that. So as far as I know, we never saw Kevin Sullivan in the WWE, but his tenure in WCW was something of pretty good significance. I mean, he wrestled the guys like he wrestled the likes of Sting, and his feud with Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan first came to the WCW, and his feud there, and just so Kevin Sullivan had a good career, and so he will definitely be missed for sure. And I was like, wow, I was kind of surprised. I did not realize that. And then so out of the break, and then we get another ad break. So coming out of that ad break, we get A-Town Down Under is backstage with Nick Aldis, and they're talking about their match, and just how, hey, we should have won, and this and that and the other, and of course Austin Theory opens up his mouth, and he accidentally, and I'm going to say that in quotations, puts Grayson Waller in a match with Kevin Owens, because they've been feuding with Kevin Owens, and and Kevin Owens has been sticking his nose in their business and stuff, and so next week it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller. And I mean, I already know who's going to come out. We already know who's going to come out on top of that. On top in that one, it's going to be Kevin Owens. It's going to be Kevin Owens going to come out on top on that one. We already know that. So, and then we get the we got the graphic that next week it's going to be Naomi versus Blair Davenport. And of course, then we got the graphic for next week, that the Women's Championship celebration hosted by Tiffany Stratton, and they put down at the bottom the hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Stratton. So we're gonna get that next week, and and like I said, we know that Tiffany is gonna cash in on Nia. I mean, it's a given. It's a given. I mean, come on. It's a given that Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in on Nia Jax. I mean, it's a given. It's a given. We know that's going to happen, right? We know that's going to happen. And we got DIY taking on we got DIY taking on A-Town Down Under to see who is going to face Tama Tonga and now Tangaloa, because Jacob Fatu is out. As we know that Jacob Fatu hurt his ankle at SummerSlam when he did the splash off the top rope onto the table onto Cody, and so if it's a legitimate injury. Not sure if it's if they're playing up the injury, or I don't know, but if that's legit, hey, all the best to Jacob Fatu, get well soon, because he is amazing. I hate to see him down for a long period of time, so hopefully makes a speedy recovery if it's a real injury, not a kayfabe injury, but I think it's a legitimate injury. So we hope to see Jacob Fatu back in the ring really soon. So anyway, so Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. Tangaloa is holding the tag titles with Tama Tonga now. So and I love how DIY they've now utilized the DIY has now utilized the Shatter Machine, which, if you guys remember, was FTR's finisher when they were in WWE, when they were in NXT, and when they were up on the main roster, when they were the Revival. That was their finisher, was the Shatter Machine. So now DIY uses the Shatter Machine, and they hit DIY hits their finisher, meet in the middle, and so we're getting now we got the Bloodline versus the Bloodline of Tama Tonga and Tangaloa going up against DIY for the tag titles. And then we got the backstage. We got back in Gorilla again. We got the Bloodline getting ready to come out, and and Tama Tonga says to Solo, Roman hasn't shown up yet. He's not here yet. And Solo says, don't worry, he will be. He will be. And Solo, so they get out to the ring, and Solo does the whole, Tulsa, Oklahoma, acknowledge me, and so he does that, and Tama Tonga Tangaloa, are holding behind him, holding the tag titles, aloft behind him or up behind him, and Solo's cutting his promo, saying how Roman, how he's the new tribal chief, and Roman is not, and how and so as he's cutting this promo, Roman's music hits, and he got a huge pop. And I popped big. I was like, yes, oh my gosh. And Roman comes out to this huge pop. He absolutely destroys Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. Delivers a Superman. He hits both of them with a super punch. And he absolutely spears Tangaloa out of his shoes. I mean, this spear was insane. This babyface version of Roman Reigns, I absolutely love this babyface version of Roman Reigns. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. He hits the spear, hits a couple spears, and Tama Tonga is out of the ring, outside on the ring floor, and getting up, and out goes Roman. Roman goes running around the ring and absolutely spears Tama Tonga right through the barricade, knocking down the barricade. I mean, that's how massive this spear was. And Roman jumps back in the ring, and of course Solo scurries out of the ring. Solo's standing up on the ring apron, holding the aloofa, telling him, if you want this, come and get it. This is mine now. I'm the tribal chief. If you want this, come and get it. Come and get it. And you have just Roman just standing there, staring an absolute hole right through Solo. And we are building to an incredible match. I cannot wait for the payoff of this. And in the meantime, to that build up, I'm hoping that we, please WWE do this. Please Triple H do this. Reunite Jimmy and Jay. Get them back together. Get the Usos back together. Put them back on Smackdown together. Align them with Roman. Get Hikuleo in there. Get Hikuleo in there with Roman. And get Zila Fatu in there with Roman. And you have the original Bloodline with a couple of new additions against the Bloodline 2.0 for War Games, for Survivor Series War Games. Make it happen. Make it happen, WWE. All around, this SmackDown was pretty okay. There was some negatives, that, like I said, the backstage segments, the multiple backstage segments, that they need to cut those down. But other than that, this SmackDown was overall awesome. I loved this SmackDown. It just, Roman Reigns showing up on SmackDown, Roman Reigns being on SmackDown is just so much better. It just makes things so much better with Roman Reigns being on SmackDown. I absolutely love Roman Reigns on SmackDown. I love having him there, and I love that he's back. And yeah, I mean, it's just so good. So good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this review, my review of SmackDown. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life, bruh. And remember, guys, last final thing, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, guys. Trying to get to 500 subs, guys. Help me get there. Alright, guys. Like this video. Share this video. Comment. Subscribe. All that good stuff, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. See ya.